Okay, everybody, I'm moving on to a step 3 or 4 of my spring cleanup. I've been working in my barn cleaning out manure from the old duck pen area, and that was a huge job done. The manure spreader is loaded up, waiting for husband to come home to get it spread. In the meantime, I have gray skies and clouding, so I'm just doing everything I can. Well, I can power wash in the rain, so I have a power washing project going on. So husband came home from an auction and thought it was a great idea to buy these bins. The bins also came loaded with stuff. So most of it got cleaned out at the auction, but he literally spent forever before I got there for the loadout at the auction. His cleanup job is the power washer. Like I said, rain doesn't matter. So I'm spraying these out, and they were all crammed together nice and tight. You can see I've got some mouse nests down here in the lower bins. So I'm going to fire up the power washer, and I'm going to get this all clean so that when the weekend comes, well, before the weekend comes, I can lay them down on their side with the help of the guys, the boys, and we can dolly them over to the shop and get them set up. We've got nothing between these two doors here, and I think it'd be a good spot to put 2 of them at least. Maybe 3 will fit. I'll have to get some measurements. But they're not doing any good sitting out here, and our workbench is loaded up full of nuts and bolts. So it's time to get these going, because that shop, get it cleaned up and it's right a mess again. Everyone has a hard time putting things where they belong because there's not really a spot for anything. Cleanup jobs often entail other things. So this is some leftover wood from the maple syruping. And I'm trying to think of a better spot in the yard for my burning barrels. Where do you keep your burning barrels at? We like to be able to see it from the house, but on the other hand, it's kind of up here in my front yard. And I don't really like burning in this area here because the kids play, and then it's in view of all the neighbors. And then of course over here is the cows. So he burned stuff from the shop, so it kind of makes sense. But when this is all cleared out, it's just not going to work. Here's part of my spring cleanup. I cleaned out my duck pen. Had a whole winter's worth of manure. So I got it all loaded up. It's the weekend, and husband decided before the sun sets that he would get out and get it spread. It's hard to keep going after you eat dinner. So I spent my spare time painting today, so if you get paint on your skin, I paint a lot of oil-based paint around here. Kerosene helps get it off really good. I actually clean my brushes in it, and diesel fuel too. But I prefer the kerosene. It just comes right off. I've got a little bit on my hand here that was still, but I was covered all over, getting over my poison ivy. My belly is still all tore up, but areas of it seem to be spreading. Oh yes, our rhubarb. This rhubarb was barely peeking up out of the ground like a week and a half ago, and it's popping right up. Look at this. See that rhubarb? Yeah, the asparagus is gonna come up down there past that lumber. I had the boys all move that a couple of weeks ago when we tore apart the duck pen. But it's just kind of coming along little by little. I gotta fiddle around with the lawnmower or borrow my father-in-law's lawnmower because the grass is getting super tall. Back there where I've been cleaning up, where the ducks used to be, from dumping out their pool water, the grass is up to my knees already, and like it literally just popped up this week. So I've got some gardening and things like that I've been working on a little bit. You can see here, this was a flower bed that was here when we moved here, and I just keep cutting back the rose bushes because they get so high. But pokeweed grows up here too, so I have to kind of keep in on that because those pokeweed berries are poisonous. They look a lot like elderberries. So because they're poisonous, we have to keep them cut right back. They like to grow where things have died in the past, like trees. They're a lot of times on the edge of fields. So they're out there playing with the hose, running it down their slides. And as you can see, the trampoline gave way this winter. So I have to see about a new trampoline top for them. Murdoch got that for his birthday a couple of years ago. So anyways, just a little update. We do take it easy. The spring cleaning has just been one project after another. And I have been cleaning, painting, selling things. Thank goodness for Craigslist, because with eBay, they're shipping and dealing with all of that. People just show up and things disappear. I got rid of a truck. So I don't know if it showed up in the maple syrup video. We had an old Ford F-250. It was a 70 or a 72, I don't remember. So that had been back in the woods, and I took that load of scrap metal in and said, hey, I really would like to get this out of here too. A guy came and bought it to turn it into a rat rod. So I got more money by selling it to him than if I would have sold it to scrap. So I had mentioned that before with selling vehicles to the scrap yard. Parting things out can get you so much more money than taking things into the scrap yard for vehicles. But today I'm kind of tinkering around maple syrup tubing. The last of my maple syrup tubing kind of got left behind, and I let it soak in bleach for days. So there's no garbage, no bacteria growing in it, and I can finally get them put away. So I have to move some ladders around, but I've got them sitting here in the shop, and I can get them up in the loft with the rest of the things. Kind of thinking about making a run to buy a big storage box or a moving box from someplace like Home Depot or something, because even if I put them away neatly, like a banana box has an open top, it would work. They're just kind of a funny thing to store. So we're going to fiddle around with this Ford F600, and we got the battery charger on it now, so that I can start fiddling on that. I went and picked up my paint for my tow motor forklift that I showed you. But yeah, part of my cleanup is just kind of painting. I'm not working hard because of the hay bale, so it's allowing me to do barn cleanup and other things. So here's the Ford. Got the battery charger on it. It's got a 2008 battery in it, so I might just buy a battery for it, but it turned over with the jumper cables, but not enough power to get it running. So we'll see how it does on the little charger there, and do a cold start video for you. We know how much you guys like that, huh? So yeah, no spring break, no spring vacation. When you're farming, there's just work to do, and when I'm not farming, we're doing cleanup. But here's all my area where I did my maple syrup. He brought me a new burning barrel. Little things make me very, very happy. So I've got a little fire going here. Got to take away the old one. See all that ash gets built up in there. I'm over by the fire, but he started putting holes in here for me to help with the burn. And once the ash gets over that area, it seems like it just fills right up so fast. So nice little, it's just been kind of smoking all day long. Okay, so I'm on another segment of my farm cleanup. So I told you I was painting earlier, so now I am painting the old globe tank. So not to make you dizzy, we'll go real nice and slow. I hate it when people move around fast. So that tank is on its way out of here. I had them all power washed when I did the first part of the barn cleanup, and This green tank needs a new set of legs because when my husband got it, it was damaged. Somebody ran into it. So he had the globe tank behind it, and we're into planting season. He didn't want to fill it up. We've always kept it kind of low, or had the other tank behind it in case it collapsed. All it is made up of angle iron. So he's going to cut off the uprights and put new angle iron on it for that, and then it will be just great, good as new. I don't know what a new stand costs, but a whole new tank without the hose and pump and filter and the gauges on top is about $1,100. So well worth a little bit of angle iron. I asked him if he could just straighten it out and weld some supports on it, but you might as well do it right. So the old globe tank, apparently these are really, there's not a lot of them around, and I said before it was from Standard Oil. He said it also because he couldn't find a globe tank thing on it that it might be from Atlas Oil, but it's a globe tank design. So it's really neat. They've got it's a double tank. So I believe right about here is the line for it, and I forget what he said for how many gallons it is, but it'll have a hookup, a separate hose for gas and diesel. So I decided to go with red. I really was having a hard time with this because a lot of tanks are red for farms, but we're going to move it over here, and this is a galvanized aluminum siding, and I didn't really want it to stick out like a sore thumb, but painting it galvanized, which is the shiny metal paint, like what I painted the grain bin back here. So I thought that's going to stand out just about the same as that, and it's so shiny, they're hard to look at. So I just thought, we'll go classic red. Or this is an aluminum trailer, and it's got red on it, and because the red is on it, it kind of sticks out. That's going to be another project. A lot of that red paint. It was a tractor hauling semi. Anyways, whole nother deal. I'm just trying to clean up and get things out of here. So, George is with me today, and this is 1 coat of primer and 1 coat of Ford red. I decided to go with the Ford red instead of the regular tank paint that I've been using because this is Rust-Oleum paint. The other paint I was using is the Magic, and that's what we used on our wheels and our tractor wheels last year. Yes. Oh, look at Bethany here. She's hanging out in the concrete truck today in her swimming suit because it's so warm. Guys, I am so glad for spring. We've been having weather in the high 70s. It topped up at 80 the other day, and I was So the other day I was priming this and sanding it, and I got sunburned. So I'm kind of going about this slow, but we're supposed to get rain late tonight or tomorrow, so I wanted to get the second coat on that. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like, and I will show it to you again when we have it all hooked up with hoses.